must try to figure it out anyway. Songs of worries traveling with the storm, but I must try to figure it out alone. Yeah, I must try to figure it out alone. And now, ooh, when you're gone, ooh, I know things won't be the same no more, I'm sure. It'll take a while 'cause I'm still sore, yeah. Now, ooh, when you're gone, ooh, I know I still have a long way to walk, I'm sure. It'll take a while to reach the golden shore. Walls and mountains standing in my way, but I must try to figure it out anyway. Tales of worries travel with the storm, but I must try to figure it out alone. Yeah, I must try to figure it out alone. And now, ooh, when you're gone, ooh, I know things won't be the same no more, I'm sure. It'll take a while 'cause I'm still sore, yeah. Now, ooh, when you're gone, ooh, I know I still have a long way to walk, I'm sure. It'll take a while to reach the golden shore. I must try to figure it out alone. Yeah, I must try to figure it out alone.
Tick tock, the clock is ticking. I don't know what I should do, and I wish you would be right here with me. My mind is filled with pictures of when we used to dance, but now I don't know where you are. I miss you so bad, won't you come back to me? I've got you in my head, you're all that I see. I've lost all my chances, I know that I am too late. I'm thinking of you, I'm thinking of you, I'm thinking of you. Wondering if you're thinking about me too. Now it's too late, now it's too late. I'm out of time, but I'm still thinking of you. My heart keeps on bleeding. I have scars, the ones not healing. They're all there because of you. It's my fault, I messed it up, and I should have treated you much better, so much better. I miss you so bad, won't you come back to me? I've got you in my head, you're all that I see. I've lost all my chances, I know that I am too late. I'm thinking of you, I'm thinking of you, I'm thinking of you. Wondering if you're thinking about me too. Now it's too late, I know it's
is so good to see you. We do this every day, and I'm still so amazed by you. So hold me tight through the night. It's just us two, me and you. Oh, oh, I can't believe you love me. Oh, oh, I just feel so lucky. Oh, oh, still can't believe you love me. I hope it never ends, this being more than friends, yeah. You know I'm here to stay every single day.